Hello, I'm Brad Wolf at Embarcadero Technologies. In this video, I'm going to show how to perform a schema comparison on Oracle with DB Change Manager. To create a schema comparison job, I'll right-click the Schema Comparison Jobs node and create New. Here I'll name the job, and I'll specify both the source and target data sources by simply dragging and dropping from the Explorer tree to populate the required fields. Stepping through the wizard, I move to the Refinements tab. Here I can filter by schema owner. I'm also able to filter by object type, broken out by category, server types including users and table spaces, schema types including views and stored procs, and tables and dependencies, which are my tables and constraints. These choices are then reflected in the refinement view, and here I can perform further refinements as well by manually unselecting or selecting an object to include or exclude it. The Mapping tab then maps by name the schema to be compared. In this situation, however, the column headings suggest that these are schema that exist in the same data source. So we'll just manually change the mapping and instead compare the Franklin A schema to a slightly different schema, Franklin B. And clicking off, we're warned of the change, but we would certainly like to continue in this case. In the Options tab, I'm able to specify how the job is to be performed, including what types of objects to include or exclude in the comparison job. I can also ignore certain attributes that are known differences that may exist between a source and target data source, but do not factor into my comparison operation. We also have a Notification tab. Here I can define either an email notification to be associated with the execution of the schema comparison job, a file system notifier, which would actually place an artifact containing report or generated SQL in a file location. I can also enable a systray notifier that will pop up in the corner of my screen to visually indicate that a change has been made or a job has been run. Now we're ready to run the job. I can simply right-click or run. I also have an icon shortcut to run the job. Upon running the job, I am viewing a comparison results view. This shows me at a high level what objects matched at what percentage. I'm also able then to generate an inclusive sync script. This is the DDL required to implement the source changes on the target environment, at which point I can execute against any number of targets. I also have the option to show individual results. This gives me a visual summary of the objects that were included in the comparison. I can also apply filtering, in this case ignoring the matching objects and focusing only on objects to be created that require an extended alter, etc. I'm also able to view any differences that may exist between a source and target object by right-clicking, viewing the differences, and seeing side by side what, if any, differences exist in the compared object. And then finally, in addition to the preview of the script that would be generated to implement the change on the target environment, I'm also able to generate change scripts at a very granular level, as I've done here for a single table, or at a very broad level where I could generate actually all of the selected object scripts as well.